Hi everybody, this is Erica. I'm a licensed esthetician and I am 49 years old, and I wanted to talk about how you often do notice as you're getting close to the menopause years, the differences in your skin, and I definitely have noticed them. And your old skincare routine just may not be cutting it anymore. And I'm going to talk about what I did to kind of really up the game. And I am, by no means pushing products on people that they can't afford. If you just can't afford these products, I'm not going to push something that, you can't afford. People need to be budgeting their money, especially nowadays. But what I did was I cut out a lot of the spending that was not important to me. So I cut out buying makeup. I cut out buying clothes. I only use drugstore hair care. I mean, it's just I had to make a lot of cuts in other ways so that I could add to my skincare routine in a way that was really going to make an impact on my skin. Now, I'll show you some footage of my skin a year or two ago, and I was much heavier. I was not watching my diet. I had severe insulin resistance, pre-diabetes. My skin had a lot of glycation. Even though I was using the retinoids and using using sunscreen every day, it just wasn't really seeming to cut it anymore. And I felt like I really needed to up the game. So what I did was I added microcurrent and nanocurrent, and I bought the Zip Halo, and just kind of hearing a lot about it on just basic social media, and then also doing some research about, microcurrent and nanocurrent, I realized just how important it is for your skin's health, especially as you're really getting older. So what I did was I added the Zip Halo. It looks kind of like a little mouse device, and it's got these two little kind of roller balls on this side. And it comes with a conducting gel, which I was concerned that it would not come with a conducting gel, but it does come with a conducting gel. And it's pretty self-explanatory. You just turn it on, and the machine kind of beeps at you, and that basically is saying it's ready. And then when you apply it to skin with conducting gel on it, it starts to activate. And you feel a little bit of a vibration or tingle in your skin. It's almost a little bit startling the first time you use it, but you do get used to it, and it's basically the microcurrent going into your skin. Now, I find this just incredibly user-friendly. I thought before I bought this microcurrent, nanocurrent, it's going to be complicated. It's going to be this, it's going to be that. It's just really I've only had it for a few days, but I already see a difference in my skin. So you see an immediate result in your skin, and then over time you see increased improvement in your skin's elasticity and firmness, and just overall just general youthfulness. So I just basically rub it across my skin like this until it beeps once, and then I switch over to this side. And I don't know if it was the weight loss, but I did gain eye bags. And so I do kind of focus on this area now that I have more eye bags. And I also just really focus on the nasolabial area, and then really pulling it up and kind of going this way. I did download the app, the Zip app, so that I can try different treatments and really experiment with it more. And once I'm really used to it, I would like to introduce my clients, my esthetician clients, to microcurrent and nanocurrent, because I have seen such an impressive result with it, and I'm just really happy with it. So yeah, I just feel like my skin already looks different. Just something is different, and I'm just really impressed with this. It is about $400. Take care of the product, use it every day, follow the instructions, and you will see results with this product. So I just am really impressed with it. The other thing that I've been using for about the past 3 months is LED masks. Now, I had started trying them 2 years ago. I think I said in a previous video that I was not careful and I got water on it and it broke. And that was the most expensive mistake I'd ever made. So this is the Omnilux. It's one of the most studied brands. Basically, it's medical grade. I really love this. This is kind of the same way as Zip Halo. It's not an really, you know, arduous process in your skincare routine. You put it on for 10 minutes, you know, every night or day. And basically it's self-timed. So once those 10 minutes run out, it'll automatically turn off. So I've had really good luck with it. I didn't notice as dramatic results with that as I have noticed with the microcurrent and nanocurrent. But I just like that it boosts collagen, it has a repairing quality to it, it, you know, takes down inflammation in the skin. Just all of those properties are really critical to your skin as it's really getting past menopause or into menopause, to really kind of up your game with skincare. The other thing I recommend is switching from retinol to at least a retinaldehyde. I do use the Naturium retinaldehyde 0.1%, and this retinaldehyde is stronger than retinol because it's only one conversion process away from being retinoic acid. So even though it's not as strong as tretinoin, it has less irritation to it. A lot of people get very sensitive with tretinoin, but without it being pure retinoic acid, I find it just like it's gentler on the skin. It doesn't cause like a skin barrier issue. I still use tretinoin. I have an order with Alloy right now. A quick update on that. So I did quit. I quit Agency, which was another subscription service for tretinoin. It was just too pricey. Alloy is more competitive, so for a 3-month supply of tretinoin, you're paying $90. For a 2-month supply of tretinoin with Agency, you're paying $80. So that's definitely a better deal. So I switched to the Alloy tretinoin, and my skin can handle it pretty well because I've been on retinoids for over 20 years. But I definitely recommend, if you're going to start a tretinoin routine, start smaller. If you haven't been on retinoids, start with retinol. Stick with it for 6 months. Once you stuck with it for 6 months and your skin is acclimated, you can upgrade to a retinaldehyde, and then you can go into tretinoin. You can also buffer. So basically what some people will do is they'll put a moisturizer down first, and then they'll put the pea-sized amount of tretinoin around their face, and that just kind of takes down some of the irritation and the potency of the tretinoin that causes all that irritation. So that's what I recommend, is going up to a retinaldehyde from retinol, because retinol is 2 conversion processes away from being retinoic acid. Retinaldehyde is 1. So, and then I am trying the Ordinary's growth factor serum, and I bought this just to try it, see how it works. It's of course a lot cheaper than my beloved Neogenesis Recovery, and I absolutely love this growth factor serum. There's no other growth factor serum I recommend but Neogenesis Recovery. But it is not cheap, and if I get it, I have to get it with a discount code, or I don't get it at full price. And then I use it carefully. It kind of gives me anxiety every time I use it because it is so pricey and it does run out. So I'm trying the Ordinary's growth factor serum. I don't have any feedback on it yet, but I just thought I would try something much cheaper, kind of see if I felt like it had made results to my skin, that kind of thing. So absolutely, we'll keep you updated on that. And the other thing, it is so trite and boring that I almost hesitate to bring it up in videos, but it is using sunscreen every single day. That is using at least an SPF, a broad spectrum SPF of 30. I'd recommend going higher in the summer months, but using it every day, face and neck, hands, anywhere that's exposed to the sun frequently when you're driving and things like that. This is, you know, obviously my driver's side. I see more pigmentation, kind of more freckling. There's a little bit more wrinkles under my eyes on the driver's side. So when I was probably in my early 20s, I just wasn't careful, and it's now showing up now that I'm in my late 40s. So even though I have been an avid sunscreen user for many years, that damage that I did to my skin from the driver's side is definitely apparent from this side to this side. So absolutely recommend that. Another thing that you can do is get a DNA repair enzyme, which actually goes into the skin and kind of corrects some of that photo damage that we've incurred. They say that most of the photo damage that we incur will happen before the age of 20. Now that was probably the case with me. I was an 80s kid. I was out all day. No one thought about sunscreen back then. And probably some of the damage that I'm seeing now is a result of years and years of exposure in the 80s and maybe early 90s and just not thinking about it. And now as I'm older, it's more visible. So, and then I wasn't going to talk about this because I am not a medical professional, and I told myself I'd never get into this territory. But I will talk about what has worked for me with diet, nutrition, and supplements. And this is not meant to be advisory in any way, or like I'm trying to dispense medical advice. This is just what has worked for me. Everyone should talk to their doctor first about for taking supplements or going on a vitamin routine or anything like that, because they may be on medications where there's a contraindication or there's some kind of an issue with them being on that medication. So don't kind of play doctor with yourself, or, you know, just try to be, you know, careful about, you know, just how you approach supplementation. But for me, changing my nutrition made a dramatic effect on my skin. And it wasn't something that I went into thinking about my skin. I was just thinking about reversing prediabetes, reversing severe insulin resistance. I was obese. I was just so unhappy, and I completely turned my diet around. I went keto. Not everyone likes keto. Not everyone's going to go for keto. I'm not pushing keto. For me, it worked. I've gotten 50 pounds off so far. I'd like to get at least another 20 pounds off at this point, but I just feel so much better. If I get any kind of a hunger now, it's a very light hunger. It's something that I can kind of, you know, I'm actually hungry right now and I'm fine. Now, when I was in pre-diabetes, I would have sugar fluctuations all over the place. I would feel lightheaded. I'd need to sit down. I couldn't deal with anything unless I got food in my mouth. I mean, it was just such an uncomfortable and scary thing to be dealing with that I had to change my diet. And that meant cutting out sugar, cutting out processed food, cutting out refined carbs, cutting all those things out. And it's been about 5 months now. And I've just seen a dramatic improvement in my skin. I had glycation before. I'll try to put some footage in of me before I went on keto. And it was just, my skin was just in much worse condition. And just my skin is brighter, it's glowier, it's just eating very nutrient dense, a lot of vegetables, you know, a lot of low sugar fruits like berries, you know, going no sugar, you know, eating, you know, grass-fed beef, eating salmon, those kinds of things made a dramatic difference in my skin, and then just cutting out all processed foods. So when we're eating sugar, when we're eating processed foods, when we're eating refined carbs, those turn into sugar obviously in our system. And the sugar in our system is obviously going to be, it's in our bloodstream, it's going to our skin. So, you know, that's obviously going to make an impact on your skin. I didn't make the connection back then. I was just desperate to get the weight off and reverse the pre-diabetes, which I did. And, yeah, I would just say, you know, just I take I take a multivitamin every day. I take fish oil. I take kind of a fatty acid supplement called Fatty 15, which you may have seen kind of in your scrolling through your social media. They're advertising for it. Now, I watched a video with Thomas DeLauer and one of the scientists that was really kind of researched this. And they're promoting Fatty 15 as kind of this anti-aging supplement. But in the video, she talked a lot about how they found a connection with this deficiency and insulin resistance. And that's what I was really trying to reverse. And that's why I went on Fatty 15. So I take omega-3 supplements. I take antioxidants like astaxanthin, resveratrol, liposomal vitamin C. I'm really careful to consult with my doctor about these supplements, and just make sure there's no issues in terms of what my health is, a health condition or any prescription medications I'm on. So they made a dramatic difference. I think they've made a dramatic difference in my skin, and I think they've made a dramatic difference. The first reason was I took it for health, but the secondary benefit was that it made a dramatic difference in my skin as well. So I hope this video is helpful, and I just really want to help people feel their best and look their best without necessarily having to go the invasive route of a full facelift or something really dramatic. For me, it really wasn't. If that can be the last resort. If you can afford to get a facelift, and you want a facelift, it's going to make you feel better, that's great. I wanted to try devices and good skincare and good health before I went down that rabbit hole. So that's just my